को अद्धा वेदका इह प्रवोचत् कुत आजाता कुत इयं विसृष्टिः अवार्गदेवास्य विसर्जनेनाथा को वेद यत आबभूव इयं विसृष्टिर्यत आबभूव यदि वा दधे यदि वा न यो अस्याध्यक्षः परमे व्योमन्सो अंगम वेद यदि वा न वेद. Welcome back to the Civilizational Bridge. I am sorry for the delay in getting out the episodes. I've been feeling under the weather, had some cold and throat pain, so I could not make an episode last week. I'm feeling a bit better now. We'll spend some fun time talking about storytelling traditions in ancient India. Most of them used the narrative technique of embedding one story within another, and often yet another within that, like a series of Russian dolls. Person A is telling a story to person B. Within that story, person C is telling a story to person D, and then E to F, and so on and so forth. Doesn't it sound like a nested programming logic? Then they say everything happens in a cycle, right? And you got to close the loop on everything as well. Yes, indeed. Lots of loops and nested programming logic. This multi-layered structure where stories are nested within stories is not just a tool for adding complexity or extending the narrative, but a very interesting and profound device for exploring ideas from multiple perspectives and creating a tapestry of interconnected tales. Let's start with a lightweight example, Panchatantra. Panchatantra is an ancient Indian collection of fables written by Vishnu Sharma. These tales are meant to impart morals and worldly wisdom. In Panchatantra, each story illustrates a principle, and the stories often have yet smaller tales embedded within them to drive home the point. The tales of talking animals, wise birds, and crafty humans are interconnected and are used to guide the king in statecraft, ethical decision making, and personal wisdom. If anyone is interested in telling some fun stories to kids and yet be able to impart wisdom, this book is the best. It talks about losing a friend, gaining a friend, dealing with enmity, even statecraft. So there are 84 stories. I will have to make a special episode on Panchatantra alone, as it was translated in various forms over thousands of years in different languages. It's the biggest export of India to Europe. Of course, the most celebrated examples of this technique can be found in the ancient Indian epic, the Mahabharata and the Bhagavata Purana. The Mahabharata is a massive epic, longest poems in the world, about 100,000 slokas or over 200,000 individual verse lines, containing several instances of nested stories. It actually starts with a narration by author Vyasa's disciple Vaisampayana to King Janamejaya during a ritual that aimed to ward off the possibility of snake bites, and seated in a tower built in the middle of an ocean. That is just one layer. Vaisampayana further describes that Ganesha wrote it down while sage Vyasa dictated it. Even within the main narrative of the conflict between the Pandavas and the Kauravas, there are numerous sub-stories, parables and teachings. In the Bhagavad Gita, in the Mahabharata war, Arjuna doesn't want to fight his relatives. Krishna implores him to do his duty and the reasons why he must. Hope someone remembers the quote in Oppenheimer movie, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." That was the actual quote said by Oppenheimer after conducting the nuclear test as part of the Manhattan Project.
I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." I suppose we all thought that one way or another.
Okay, but what is the verse and what's the context? Well, the verses go like this. Kalosmi lokakshayakrit pravruddho lokan samahartumiha pravruttaha rutepi tvam na bhavishyanti sarve yeva sthita pratyanikeshu yodhaah. Kalosmi, I am time. Kalo asmi, I am time. Lokakshaya krut pravruddho, the great destroyer of the worlds. Lokan samahartu miha pravruttaha, I have come here to destroy Lokan, everyone. Rute pitvam, except you or some of you. Na bhavishyanti sarve, all will cease to exist. Eva sthitaha means warriors standing. Pratyanikeshu yodhaha means the enemy warriors. So what it is essentially saying is, Krishna is saying to Arjuna is, I am time, the great destroyer of the worlds. I have come to destroy all people except some of you. All the warriors in the opposing army shall cease to exist. Whether you are involved or not, it will not matter, because their time has come. So to me, I had questions when I saw the movie Oppenheimer by Christopher Nolan. Did Oppenheimer understand the verses, or did he just say an incorrect translation? Did Christopher Nolan understand the verses or just used them wherever? I actually don't have an issue as to what scene it was used in. What matters to me is, did he understand and convey it well? It seemed to me that he was more interested in showing the psyche of Oppenheimer, and I didn't get a feeling that he understood that verse. The nature of these verses, let me tell you the nature of these verses. These are about the nature of the Supreme Being. Supreme Being is Krishna here. Krishna, who is an incarnation of the Supreme Being. He says, I am time. The Supreme Being obviously is time. That's why I am a destroyer. It's not about someone having the grandiose idea of becoming a destroyer or thinking of oneself as a destroyer. It is time. Time is the destroyer. Story within a story within a story still has context. One needs to understand the context. In any case, Mahabharata remains an extraordinarily vast and complex work, rich in story, philosophy and tradition. Similarly, in Ramayana, we again have a story within a story structure. For example, the Ahalya episode, where Ahalya's curse and redemption were described by sage Vishwamitra to Rama. When Jatayu sacrifices himself, he narrates his attempt to save Sita, how Sita was fighting with Ravana, and then while he was dying, he narrates that story. There are so many to count, but now we know the Indian storytelling structure. Guys, if you like the content, please like, share and subscribe. I am happy to let you all know that the channel has cleared the first stage of monetization. The requirement for that was 500 subscribers and 3000 public watch hours. We are close to 1800 subscribers now. 3000 public watch hours was a difficult task, but we are now there. The next stage is when the channel will be able to really monetize the content once we reach 4000 public watch hours. This is a lot of hard work, guys, and this is original content. You will not find anything like this anywhere on YouTube. It takes a lot of research, especially when we haven't reached the monetization stage yet. If you see on YouTube, there are other people who are reacting to others' content and call it content. They have millions of subscribers who watch them for showing their odd behaviors and expressions in front of the camera. I need your help. This channel is for everyone, whether you are a devotional Hindu, whether you are a non-devotional Hindu, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Sikh, agnostic or atheistic, or say if you are looking for some fun informational content. In fact, I am looking to narrate Brihat Katha in English, Telugu and Hindi. People say Brihat Karya, right? That means an impossibly mammoth task in Sanskrit, or a Sisyphean task per Greek legends. Brihat Katha is a group of wonderful stories that not many are aware of in India or elsewhere, and those stories I am excited to say will be for all ages. Of course, I will continue with Ramayana also. In this couple of weeks, I have been busy preparing for my PMP recertification exam. It's a project management professional certification that my work requires. As soon as I clear the exam, I'll be able to do more. Again, my sincere request is for you to not only like, share and subscribe with your entire family, but also actively participate and provide feedback in the comment section. Do you have any questions? What would you like to see? As always, this is your host Hemant.